Glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who does lead and rule well. Salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And sincere shalom also to you Akim and Akwaf, listening and learning, preparing yourselves here in these last days. And to the entire household of faith, fighting this good fight of faith, I want to say shalom. This is your brother Quar from the DC camp. Come back at you with another lesson. And I'm entitled this one, The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. The Chariots of Salvation. All right. Drones, hashtag drones, orbs, UFOs, UAPs, man. Especially where we at here in the DMV, you know, there's been a lot of sightings. They calling it drones. They might be calling it orbs. You know, some of them might be drones. Some of them might be, you know, some stuff that Esau is doing. But, you know, what are, you know, these UFOs, or they call UAPs now, you know, what are they? You know, if you don't know, that's why I also said chariots of salvation. These are the vehicles of the angels, man. You know, and they've always been around. We just haven't been taught of these things. Why you think that they have a space force? All right. You know, they've been seeing these things for a while. Now, I'm going to get this video because it's this article because it's talking about Maryland, where I'm at. But this was also released November 15th, so about a month ago. It says Pentagon receives, this is before the last couple of weeks with all them sightings of those they call drones. Pentagon received hundreds of UAP reports, but says no evidence of extraterrestrial activity. The report was published a day after the second major hearing on UAPs was held in Congress, where leaders called for greater transparency from the Pentagon on UAP knowledge. All right, so they haven't. It said it was a major hearing. They having these meetings, you know, in the government about greater transparency, like what is going on, because they've been seeing these things. As a matter of fact, this article said that U.S. urged to reveal UFO evidence, claimed that it has intact alien vehicles. No, you don't. But it says whistleblower former intelligence official says government possesses intact and partially intact craft of non-human origin. You know, hey, when you go back into Genesis, the first chapter, and it says that the Spirit of God moved on the, it says the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. All right. You look into that word moved and it goes into hover. All right. So and you know who built who created this thing, you know, Yahweh Shai was given a blueprint with the rest of the angels. That's why it says the powers. All right. In the Hebrew, the Alahayim. So like I said, these things was always here, even when we was, you know, going out of Egypt. That light, you know, that guided us. All right, the same thing that Elijah was called up into the heavens with. Same thing Yahweh Shai went up there with. All right, these things are here, man. You know, and recently I know Apostle Hall did a video. They kept bringing out Ezekiel. A will within a will. So what was it? Ezekiel, the first chapter? Let me see. I know it's something in the first chapter. Damn. Because they want to say that a part of it's nobody's flying it, but the angels is flying these crafts, man. You know. Now Ezekiel 10:10 was a will within a will. All right. It says Ezekiel 10:10, and as for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a will had been in the midst of a will. All right. And then, but I wanted to get the first chapter. He's talking about the cherubs, you know. It says, this is the part I wanted to get, verse 11. When they went upon their four sides. They turned not as they went, but to the place where the head looked, they followed it. They turned not as they went, in their whole body, and their backs, and their hands, and their wings, and their wheels were full of eyes round about, even the wheels that they four had. All right. Let me go back. Yeah, so the way that they flying them, with their spirit. Like, they think it is going to do it, man. It's not like how human vehicles are. All right, but hold on. Let me get this article real quick. And I can do that while I'm looking up these things.
So we continue to hover around the topic of reported drone sightings right here in Maryland. And some of those reports coming into our newsroom were just last night from Baltimore County. 11 News reporter Tori Yorgi talked to a drone expert with the University of Maryland to shed some light on the recent sightings.
Yeah, that local drone expert weighing in on what seems to just be a rising conversation throughout the nation, including right here in Maryland tonight. That expert telling us what he feels the floating lights in the sky that many are reporting to see, what exactly they may be. Lots of eyes on the night sky.
I've been seeing the reported drone sightings all over my Instagram and TikTok. They're just rumored to be different things every time I see it.
It's still an invasion of people's privacy. It could be people in people's windows. It could be a number of things.
This recent drone sighting coming to 11 News from the Essex area of Baltimore County around 9:30 Saturday night.
With drones, you really don't know who's operating them.
John Slaughter, the director of University of Maryland's Unmanned Aircraft System Research and Operations Center, says it's hard to tell who is operating a drone in general. But he does say the military does have the authority to do something if there appears to be a threat.
And they have the authorities. Those commanders of those bases have the equipment and have the authorities to do something if they believe there is a threat. So the fact that they're not doing anything convinces me that, in fact, they don't believe there's a threat to their installations.
But those rules are not the same for everyone.
Under the law, a drone is an aircraft and is treated the same as that airliner. So if you take your shotgun out and shoot that drone down, you have, under the law, committed the same crime as shooting at an airliner.
And we also asked what the drones, which Slaughter says come in all different shapes and sizes, are capable of.
There's different kinds of cameras. Some of them look for heat, some of them, like infrared, some of them look for different kinds of things. They can also...
Saying someone was misidentified. And last week I had some different articles. Where the heck is they? All right, here's another one. They was talking about orbs. All right, NASA veteran saw metallic spherical orbs fly by his plane over Texas. All right, video appears to show strange golden orb over New Jersey. All right. This is the beauty of it, man. Can I do this? All right, it was this one, but I can't find the ones that I had. That I had the other day. Okay. And then check this video. It says, UFO expert, we have proof they exist. And then it says, ex-Pentagon official, the U.S. isn't telling the truth. And then it says, this is from the National Geographic, the global threat. That's what I wanted to talk to. Now, touch on. Now, you got, when it's the saying, the truth is stranger than fiction, is a phrase that suggests real life events can be more bizarre or unexpected than anything imagined in fiction. In other words, sometimes the real world presents situations or facts that are so unusual or surprising that they seem like they could only exist in a story, yet they are true. The expression highlights an unpredictability and uniqueness of reality. And because people haven't been taught of these things, they're going to be so surprised, man. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. All right. And so this is how we're going to be beamed up and taken out of this place, man. All right. And the scriptures say this, Jeremiah 2. I'm going to go here. Jeremiah 2 and verse 10. It says, thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So they the ones that think this is a global threat. This is, for us, is going to be our salvation. All right, I'll take it out of here.
Report the usual.
And it's recorded by civilian researchers. It showed that the phenomenon was continuing and it was extensive, that it was widespread.
I mean, look what these people are saying. Look what they've documented. This is real, and it's a safety hazard.
We get reports every night.
See? It's a safety hazard for them, man. Now, when you go into 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, you know, they're going to try to fight against the Lord. All right, this is 2nd Esdras 13 verse 6. It says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not." Because this was a chariot. It was just so big that he couldn't see the end of it. You know, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight." So this is talking about the Lord. All right. Yahushua, they're going to try to subdue him when they come, man. That's why they talks about it's going to be a global threat. All right. Or it is a global threat. Which president was that? Let me see. Let me see if Google can come through. Reagan, you know, let's see. Goddamn ads, man.
President Ronald Reagan in 1987 said something that towed the line between deeply prophetic and deeply weird. And he said it at the United Nations.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Ronald Reagan wishing...
See, they think it's weird. And why is they saying these different things on these platforms? This is the United Nations. They having the government meetings. They talking about these things. And then so, look, you can't pay attention to what they saying. You got to pay attention to what they're doing, man. You know, creating the space for us. They see it. They just don't know what it is. But we can tell you what it is, man. You know? Where did I stop at? That was verse 8. It says, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests." Now this is talking about the chariot, you know, that Yahushua is going to come back in, man. That huge chariot. All right. And he blasting them laser beams. Like I said, where do you think these movies even get it from? We talking about the real actual creator, the true director. All right. This man's imagination is outside of this realm. So anything that you think that you might have seen on a movie, this is far beyond that, man. You know? What is that? The entire world is talking about it, man. You know? Look at this, man. It says New Jersey UFOs are not drones. Not all, anyway. Yeah, because it's not, you know, some of them might be, you know, but the Chariots is here, and they coming. These sightings is happening more and more often because, man, we almost at the end of this thing, man. And they making things happen. You know? The Fed says no big deal. People deeply concerned. They seeking answers. This is beautiful, man. And they saying that they lacking transparency, man. They ain't talking about it. You know? What they gonna tell them is the angels, and they coming to get the people you got enslaved. It says, and they were all mixed, this verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon a multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And that's the power that the Lord is coming back with, man. They said the Lord's going to come back with his host. He coming back in the cloud with his heavenly host, man. And those clouds is the angels, just like it had mentioned in what it said, the cloud with it says a whirlwind in the cloud in Ezekiel the first chapter. All right, I didn't finish that, you know. Ezekiel 1 verse 4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. All right. And they go into the angels again. That's the verse I wanted, that 12. And they went everyone straight forward, whither the spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. So they going according to how their spirit is, man. Look, man. This world is going to be in for a real treat when the Lord comes back, man. The Spirit, all right, verse 21. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right, this is some technology that these people haven't even thought of, man. You know? So, just wanted to do a quick one, because we know what those things are. And we got more videos on Chariots, type in GMS or Great Millstone Chariots or UFOs, and you'll get all these scriptures, man. Because now they starting to go into these different scriptures, man. But, the prophets have been bringing these things out, and it's our job to make it plain upon table so that you may run that readeth it, man, so that you can understand what's going on and prepare yourselves for what's happening. You're going to have a lot of our people that's going to be in them armies, and they're going to be the ones fighting against the Lord and get their ass burnt to a crisp. All right? So, hey, with that, Lord willing, it was edifying. To the next lesson, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Till the next one, I want to say Shalom.